Hello friends, the topic that we are going to do today is Bible and its references, parallels, allusions in the English literature. How is God, various prophets that are mentioned in the Old Testament, their stories, legends shown and referred to in the English literature. So in a simple sense, the objective is to show the connection between Bible, biblical stories and legends and English literature. So before starting the video, let me ask you a question. And this is related to Bible and Old Testament. I have given you the name of 6 prophets that are mentioned in the Old Testament. I have jumbled them up and I want you to put them chronologically. So they are Adam, Moses, Solomon, Abraham, David, and Noah. So there are 6 of them. Can you put them chronologically? Take your time. Now, of course, Adam being the first man, he comes first. Now, you know that this much. But what about the rest? Now, it is highly likely that if you are not a Jew or a Christian, you won't be able to answer it correctly. Okay. And yet, as a student of English literature, you ought to know the answer. It is imperative on you to know the answer of it. Now, Bible governs the socio-religious life of a Christian. The Christian, the individual may be a Catholic, or he may be a Protestant. He may be belonging to Anglican Church, Presbyterian, etc. But it's the Bible which is a part of his life, and it governs his social and religious life. So when the dramatist, a poet, or a novelist refers to or alludes to any biblical story or a legend, it is easily comprehended by the audience. Okay, because it's part of his daily life. However, non-Christian fails to appreciate the parallel with Bible that the author wants to show. And it is simply because of his lack of knowledge of Bible. Therefore, a working knowledge of Bible is a must for every student of English literature. And therefore, this video of mine attempts to address this issue and fill a serious gap, the link between Bible and English literature. So once we have completed the this video, then you will be able to answer certain questions. You will be you will know the Bible, the Old Testament, a little more better. So you will be knowing the prophets from Adam to Moses. This is the topic that we are going to do, and about their lives and their stories and their legends and associated with them, and of course would be able to put them in chronology. So who came first, who came second, who came last, you will be able to put them in chronology. Then next we'll be taking up examples from literature where the biblical references are mentioned, whether it be Shakespeare, Hamlet, or Milton, of course Paradise Lost, Donne, and even Dryden, etc. Now, just to give you an example, Dryden's long poem Absalom and Achitophel, there is a clear reference between King David's life of Bible and that of Charles II, who was a contemporary king at that time. Not only literature, but you will be able to appreciate other forms of art, say for example painting and sculpture, based on biblical themes. Now, just to give you an example, the Michelangelo, who was a Renaissance painter and a sculptor and an artist. Now uh, he made a sculpture of David, and he placed it in Florence. He painted Sistine Chapel as well, which is again based on biblical theme. The other advantage that you will be having, that you will be able to understand the origin of Abrahamic religion. That means Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Then other advantage will be the root of some of the conflicts that are presently. There are some conflicts like, for example, Palestine and Israel conflict. You will be able to understand. But of course, our focus will be the link between Bible and English literature. So this is our objective. This will be our modus operandi. So hope you will understand, and let's now begin. The first thing that we need to know is the link between Adam and Abraham. As you know, Adam was the first man, so he is the first patriarch of human beings. The 10th in line is Noah. Okay, so Noah and his ark, the great flood, he created a boat or an ark in which he kept one pair of each species. And after the flood, he and his family among the human beings survived. So from there on, we have 10 more patriarchs till the time we reach Abraham. So from Adam to Abraham, there are 20 patriarchs, but we need to know only three of them. The most important, Adam, 10th one, first one Adam, 10th one Noah, and the 20th one is Abraham. Further, next we will be doing David, David's son Solomon, and Moses. These are the six legends of Old Testament, and we will be doing how the literature refers to them, their stories and their legends. So let's begin with the first patriarch, Adam. Before we start the story of Adam, I want to tell you that we are dealing with Bible, and Bible has got two parts: the Old Testament, which is written in Hebrew language, and the New Testament, which is written in Greek language. Now, according to the book of Genesis of the Old Testament, Adam was the first man that was created by God, and he created he created Adam from dust, the dust from the earth, and placed him in the Garden of Eden. Since God created man, therefore God is the Father. Okay, and He created man from dust, that is from earth. So earth becomes the mother. So the fact that earth is the mother of mankind, according to Bible. Now this has come many times in literature. For example, in Intimation Immortality, the earth is called the mother. In Hyperion also, the earth of Keats, the earth is also called the mother of mankind. And there are many more such references. So the man, Adam, is created and he is placed in the Garden of Eden. He is free from everything he wants to do there. He wants to eat the tree of fruits of any tree except one tree, and that is the tree of knowledge, the knowledge of good and evil. This is the only restriction that is placed on him, otherwise he is free to do anything in this Garden of Eden. Subsequently, and you should remember that the Eve is created from the ribs, one of the ribs, Adam's rib. So both Adam and Eve are not created together. First Adam is created, and subsequently from the ribs of Adam is created Eve. The most important legend that is associated with Adam and Eve is the temptation scene, where Satan takes the shape of serpent and entices or tempts Eve to eat the fruit of forbidden tree, so that she too will acquire the knowledge of good and evil and be godlike. Now Eve sees the advantage of acquiring wisdom, eats the fruit and gives some to man, that is Adam. Now both of them have become now wise, they have become knowledgeable, and the first thing that they are aware of is their nakedness, that they are not wearing clothes. And so they stitch lion clothes from the leaves of the fig tree. Now, God, of course, is not happy with the act of transgression. This is an act of disobedience, and therefore they are punished by being banished from the uh, Garden of Eden. Now, this is the story of Adam and Eve, and now let's see how this story is played out in English literature. So now let's take some examples from literature of this temptation scene from the Old Testament. So the first book that comes to our mind is the greatest English epic, and that is Paradise Lost. So name, just you see what is the name, huh? Paradise Lost. The name itself make the theme clear. The theme is clear. That is going to be the disobedience or the rebellion of Adam and Eve and their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. The opening line of the poem starts with, of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree. So the very opening line talks about the first disobedience, the man against God, and the fruit of that forbidden tree. Which forbidden tree? The tree of knowledge of good and bad. So that was the restriction placed by God on us, and that was violated by both Eve and then Adam. In book ninth, the temptation scene and the dialogue between Satan as serpent and the Eve is played out very well. So I cannot emphasize more on the point that in order to understand English literature and Paradise Lost in particular, we have to have working knowledge of the Old Testament. John Dryden's Absalom and Achitophel is an allegorical poem dealing with the other biblical story, that is of King David and the rebellion of his son Absalom. However, the scene in which Achitophel persuades or he entices using every deceptive art or deceptive trick, subtle art, lie, deception, incitement, he uses to encourage Absalom to rebel against his father, that is King David, is reminiscent of the temptation scene where Satan again uses all this deceptive arts and lies and arts against Eve to disobey and rebel against her father, that is God. So again, I cannot emphasize more on the point that a working knowledge of Bible is important to know many of the books of English literature. Just to give you one more example, uh, in Macbeth, the three witches play the role of Satan. They play upon the ambition of Macbeth, entices him to rebel against King Duncan, to kill him, and to himself become the King of Scotland, which he truly deserves, according to the three witches. So I have taken three examples. There are innumerable such examples of the temptation scene across genre of English literature, whether it be poetry or drama or novel. I hope you would have understood and appreciated the link between both. We shall continue. Thank you.